Hello. Excuse me. I'm gonna get myself a drink here before we even get started. Because here's the deal. We all want to bring in more of the right fit students and really fill our classes to capacity. So what happens is we decide that we want to use enrollment tactics like bring a friend day or free trial classes, and then hardly anyone shows up. And if they do show up, then they don't enroll. And which can leave us wondering, like, why did I even waste my time on doing these? Right. And then you come to the conclusion that, and you decide that they just don't work for you in your area, or they're not working for you and you're not doing them ever again. Right. So in this week's episode, I will be sharing with you why those tactics are not working for you and how you can turn things around. And so, if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I always want to know who's with me when I come on live every single Wednesday. Let's start a conversation. Now, if you stumbled upon us somehow and you're new here, I'm Erin Bird, and I support studio owners and educators just like you to really grow your businesses without the overwhelm, the burnout, or the sacrificing of your personal lives. Because the truth of the matter is that you can have it all. You can have passion, you can have profit, and you can live your best life. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, feel free to sprinkle the love around, right? We are better together. Why not share and really make sure that everyone succeeds? Because our community needs it, right? So share, sprinkle the love, sprinkle the love. So if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. And if you're thinking, I am overwhelmed, I am feeling unorganized, I don't know, I need more students, I'm struggling with enrollment strategy, I don't know what to do. I need a little bit of help, and I need someone who has a set of outside eyes who could take a look at things for me. Then drop the word success below, and I will reach out to you. We can do a complimentary studio success strategy session for you. I would love to offer that to any of my community today who's feeling a little bit stuck and needs some support. So just drop the word success in the chat below, and we will reach out to you and help you get it set up, because I am committed 100% to making sure that our community thrives. And that starts with us feeling really confident in what we're doing moving forward. So if you're joining me, say what's up. Hello. Right? Say hello today to me. I want to make sure that you're here. Hey there. Okay, so we need to dive in real quick, because here's the deal. I need to get a little pulse here. Have you ever done a bring a buddy week, and although kiddos, they may come or they may show up, they don't enroll? Let me know below. Or have you tried free trials in the past and it feels like the people who come are just there to do something free and they never sign up? Let me know below. I want to know. Because what I can tell you is this whole idea of free trials, of bring a buddy week, whatever, it is a hot topic. I am just like y'all. I am in the Facebook groups. I talk to studio owners around the globe, and I hear this coming up quite frequently. No. Free trials, they don't work. I don't do free trials anymore. They don't work. Okay. Right. And we talk about it a little bit. Or, yeah, I do bring a buddy every year, and like, it's okay, but you know, eh, not that great, right? Did an adult class, didn't sign up, but their interest was when they become empty nesters. Interesting. Okay, so they're kind of looking at things for in the future. Okay, I like it. Thanks for sharing. That makes my heart so happy to hear like where you're at, right? So I want you to know that this, um, I feel like it's one of those, y'all, tights or no tights, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The whole tights or no tights like situation in those Facebook groups. Woo! It gets heated about tights or no tights, y'all. But this is another topic that actually can get quite heated, right? Because so many times I hear from studio owners that they've tried and it wasn't successful. And so they told themselves that it just doesn't work. It's not, it's their community or it's, there's a lot of reasoning that they come up with why it just doesn't work. Right. And okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you for can I share this real quick? I'm gonna like get all fancified here. Okay. Thank you for sharing this because this is something that I hear so often. Kids come but don't register. We feel like a waste a full week doing this. Okay. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for showing up and playing full out because this is where we're going to get some good nuggets. So, as we're going through y'all, if something resonates with you, I want you to drop a hashtag nugget or a aha and here's why. Number 1, it's going to resonate and it's going to like actually connect the dots for you here when we write something out or we type something down. I'm going with a Sharpie. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, so we're going to do an aha. And for those of you coming in on the replay, I know so many have asked, Erin, I would really love the replay. I can't come today live. So it also is good if you're coming in on the replay. I want to know that as well. Say hello, hashtag replay. Let me know that you're here for the replay. And what it does when we share our nuggets and our ahas, it helps others kind of lean on in and say, ooh, that was a really good one, right? Ooh, that does helpful for me. And so thank you so much for sharing that. And you guys, as you have nuggets, ahas, takeaways, drop them in the chat below. We want to know, and we want to be there to support you. So, all right. So, kids come, but they don't register. And I have a client who came to me and was very adamant that trials don't work, right? They don't work. And free trials. Now, actually, it's kind of all of both, like just trials across the board don't work. But I know that there are some thoughts here in our industry that trials should be paid because there should be some skin in the game, right? You know that a parent is more committed and more likely to enroll if they pay for a trial, which I don't disagree with necessarily. It's totally fine to do a paid trial, but here's what I know to be true. When people come to me and say that free trials or bring a buddy week don't work, my response is it's not that the tactic, right? The bring a buddy week, the free trial doesn't work. It's that your strategy behind it does not work or your system behind it does not work. Because part of the problem is they hear of this tactic, right? Which is a free trial week or bring a buddy. That is a tactic, y'all. And drop below, do you know the difference between a strategy and a tactic? And it's okay to say you don't. But the tactic, right? The enrollment tactic is let's use a free trial week. That's a tactic, right? But you have to actually have a strategy and a system in place pre, during, and post trial to actually make the tactic work for you. And so many times, what I see happen is it's like, to use a little bit of an analogy. Some people do this a little bit different, but lean in with me. Can I share this with you? You've all heard the strategy or the saying throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? I want to take it a little step further for y'all. Lean in here. Okay. You listening? Let me know below. I want to know if you're listening here. You're leaning into this. Okay. I'm like, I'll wait. I want to make sure everybody's here and leaning in and listening to this whole idea, right? Because there's that saying, right? Like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. And here's where, thank you. Yes, listening. Where's my hand clappers? Yes, right. So here's what happens. Instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, I want you to take a moment and think about it. What most studio owners do is they hold their uncooked pasta and they throw it at the wall. And what happens is it breaks and it's a big mess, right? Because I love cooked spaghetti. I love cooked pasta. It's so good, right? But what happens with this is they're like, I've got the tactic, which is the spaghetti, y'all. I got the tactic, which is free trial week, right? And I'm gonna throw it at the wall, which means I'm just gonna open it up and right? I'm just gonna throw it and hopefully it works. Y'all, throwing uncooked spaghetti at the wall is not gonna work, right? Thank you. I'm so glad you like the visual. Uncooked spaghetti. Love it, right? So this is what happens all too often is you have uncooked spaghetti, which is the free trial or the bring a buddy, right? The uncooked spaghetti is the tactic. And you throw it at the wall and you're like, praying, please let it work. But you haven't boiled the water, which is the beforehand. You haven't salted the water. You haven't cooked the spaghetti and you haven't prepared it to actually like all the way to be eaten, consumed, right? So, yes, oh my gosh. I have to share this. This is so good. Okay, so I'm hearing that. Tactics divorced from strategy don't work. They don't work. Thank you. Ah! So good, right? We have to have the strategy piece in place for it to work. And when I dive into this inside of Studio Accelerator Bootcamp with my clients on private calls, like when I dive into this and dive into people's processes and the strategy, that is where they're lacking. And this is also where I see comparisonitis happen. Like, oh my gosh, I saw so and so, one of my, I know someone who has a studio in another state. And every time they do Bring a Buddy Week, it's like bananas. And they get all these people enrolled. And I just don't know what I'm doing. That's different because, like, we both have great studios. And I don't understand why they come, why wouldn't they want to continue on? And 9 times out of 10, it's because they have a strategy and a system in place to ensure that it is going to work for them. So we have to take a moment and really understand that we have to have a strategy behind this. We have to have a system in place. And we need to think about the client or the customer journey, right? We have to think about it and we have to remove ourselves in a way from our position and our blinders that we have on. We all know that what we do is so important. We know the benefits for their child or, for someone participating. We know all of those sort of things. But while that's all great and good, does it matter to the consumer? Does it matter to the parent? So we have to lean into what actually matters to them. Now, let's be real. I'm leaning in here because it's important. Let me know in the comments below. Are you super busy? Like just in general? Or are you like, oh no, I don't have enough things to fill my day? I want to know. Oh, wait just a second. I'll let you chime in. I want to know if you're busy. Because I'll tell you, most parents are busy. We're all busy. Right? Yes, Rachel. Right? Busy. We're all busy. Always trying, Lord, always trying to be working on something. Right? But here's the thing. Now, I can say this as a parent. We're busy. Parents are busy. And they're trying to juggle all the things just as well. I mean, my gosh, y'all. This morning I had parent teacher conference at 7:30 this morning. Right? And then I've got calls with clients after clients, and then we've got our dance business over here, and then there's all sorts of things. We are busy. We are always trying to work on something. But here's the deal. So are parents. Parents are busy. So what we do pre-trial, what we do during trial, and what we do after trial matters. It matters. And I don't know how it happened to us. Somewhere along the lines, we were told that we were taught, I should say, that if we, ask something of someone, or we send out a reminder, or if we put something out there more than once, that we're being bothersome or annoying. But the truth of the matter is that that's not the case. Communicating with families is essential to the success of this tactic. And so we need to have a strong strategy and system in place that communicates what's going to happen, right? Leading up to, during, and after. And of course, the saying is the fortune's in the follow-up. And so here's the deal. Do we want people to sign up right on the spot? Absolutely. That is always our end goal. But there might be a few here and there that don't hit right when they walk out of the classroom floor, and that's okay. But can I tell you how many times, how many different studios I've visited, or I've taken a class at, or whatever across the years, for myself, for my children, that after that point, I have never heard back from them, ever. Y'all, it's bananas. Absolute madness, right? Because, like, I would think for a lot of them, we are their ideal client, right? I know the value. I'm willing to pay for it. I believe investing in myself and my family, my children, right? All intents and purposes, for most of them, I probably would be a good fit, right? But there's no follow-through or no follow-up, which then tells me they're probably not the right fit for me. So, my friends, right now, can we have an honesty moment? Like, let's go ahead in the chat and get a little pulse. Number one, you have so in the comments below, I want to know where y'all are at. Number one, you have a strong strategy before, during, and after your free trials. Two, ooh, now that I'm thinking about it, I do a little bit here and there, but probably could do a better job. Or three, I don't really have a strategy and a system beforehand, during, or after. I just hope that they have such a great time in my class that, of course, that they would want to sign up. Let me know. No judgment here, y'all. We're here to like help each other get better, support each other, right? Okay, we got a 2. Awesome. We got a 2. Cool. Anyone else? 2.5. I love it. I love when we start to create our own numbers. I'm more like a 2.5. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. And okay, so y'all, 2.5. And if you come back in on the replay, I want to know where you're at as well. You don't get out of this. I want you to come in and share with us. Okay. So my friends, sometimes I want to just say, the first part is like really looking at it, is really like taking a step back and saying, oh, where are the gaps? Where are people falling off? Because we have to be objective. So if you've done a good job of getting them to come, to actually show up, they've said, yes, I want to come to the trial, and they actually get to you there, right? Then you're probably doing pretty good in the pre. But there's a disconnect, there's a gap happening between the during and the post if they're not signing up. Okay. Okay, Rachel. 1, it took me almost a month of following up and finally got one particular student. Okay, so, right? So, Rachel, we've been working on tweaking your follow-up system a little bit, and strategy. And yes, but here's the thing. It took her almost a month of following up, but then they finally said yes, right? The fortune is in the follow-up, right? We have a strategy. Okay, so you feel like you're 2, but didn't advertise and work up to it like normal. And you're in Montana. Awesome. Okay. So, right? This is where we find the gaps, right? Is really taking a step back and looking at, ooh, what worked? What didn't work? Why didn't it work? And where's the disconnect? So many times I hear people come to me and say, oh my gosh, I got a whole bunch of leads, let's say through a Facebook ad or something of that nature. And I got a bunch of leads and then they never showed up for for the trial, or only a partial, or that sort of thing. And the truth of the matter is that there was a disconnect. Like, they saw, if they took enough time to see your ad and be like, ooh, yes, we want a free trial, and then they actually don't show up, that means that we didn't do our job in the lead up, right? Like, we have to think about it as like, okay, like almost like they're climbing the hill, right? So like we got to lead up the hill. The top of the hill is the beautiful trial and the fun and the experience, right? That's the top. And we have to catch them while they're at that high and on the top. And we get them there and we get them to sign up, and then they can come back down the hill and really get comfortable in the classes, right? Before the next hill, which might be something like a recital or a performance or something like that. But we gotta massage it. We gotta work the know, like, and trust, and the connection factor, right? Beforehand. And I will tell you, I went to a retreat this last weekend as part of a mastermind group that I am a part of. And we were having the discussion there across many industries that the decision making time for people before they buy they're looking at studies and it actually has extended. So to Rachel's point, yes, it might take a little bit longer to get them to say yes, but we have to be so committed to the follow-up that, I hate to say it, it feels like we're relentless and we're annoying, but I'm going to keep loving on this lead, on this student, on this family until they either tell me go kick rocks or they say yes to something, right? And now that might be through email nurture. There's lots of different ways that we're going to, hit on this, but know that the fortune is in the follow up. 1000%. And so this is where we have to look at our system and our strategy and not allow ourselves to say, I'm so busy to even deal with that right now. I've got XYZ. Well, I mean, is there much more important things to do over getting students in your doors? If that's what you so desire, probably not, right? But sometimes we tell ourselves, it's going to be this big old task, or, I hate sales. Drop it below. How many of you hate to call for sales or hate this portion of the process? And it's okay, right? We have to look at our relationship with sales, right? But the big point here is that if you're telling me you're a 1, yay, right? I know, Rachel, you hate calling. Rachel's a private client of mine and she hates calling, but she also tells you that the follow-up works. So that's why she's a 1 now. Not your favorite part, right? I get it. I get it. But sometimes it's, if we just reframe the way we feel about it, if we look at it from a different perspective, sometimes it makes it not so bad. And I really look at sales as service. And my goal is to really serve my community hard, right? Yes. Rachel's trick is I delegated, right? Ah! And yes, if you have support, if you have a studio concierge, if you have someone at the front desk, if you have someone who really loves, talking to people and really is coming from that point, sure, you can absolutely delegate it. But the point is that it has to be done. We have to do it, y'all. We have to do it. And if we could really lean into the idea, excuse me, that sales is just service, things will shift for you. Yes. I can hand clap while I take a drink of water. Yes. Framing service over sales is such an important distinction. And what I know about people who show up here and join me on my lives, are in my community, is that really inside of us, we want to make an impact. We want to serve our students. We want to serve our family. We want to serve our community, right? And sales is service. Sales, you have to be able to make an impact, a profound impact on their lives. You have to get them in the door. So we have to serve our community in that way. And taking them through the process of, here's our studio, here's what we're about, these are our values, this is how it fits into your child's growth, this is how it fits into your life. We are, more than just teaching steps. Like, when we can lean into, we are serving and we're serving our community hard and we're serving people, then it makes it not so hard. Now, I'm not going to say that it's going to always be your favorite thing. It can be fun. And also, this perspective thing is a huge thing. And I think for me, one of the things that I shifted is like, I'm just going to go make a friend today, right? Like, I'm going to make a connection. And even at the end of the day, if it's, not the perfect fit, because here's the thing at the end of the day, not every student that walks into your door for a free trial is the perfect fit. And that's okay too, right? But it's really about connecting and showing up and serving. So would it be accurate okay, so here, I'm going to show this real quick because I think this is great. So would it be accurate to think of trials as a form of orientation to your studio? Yes, you could absolutely think of it as that way, as an orientation versus a trial, right? Um, it's all a matter of framing, right? And I actually have one client who, she has a specific week every month that she does trials, and that's the only time that it happens is on that week. But we have a really strong strategy and system in place for the pre, the during, and the post. And it's orientating them with your values. It's starting to let them see what you are all about. And it can be done without trials, but let me tell you, the conversion is so much better when you do a trial. As long as you have the strategy and the system in place to make sure that you actually put your arms around each student that comes in and love on them and show them who you are, right? And so I think that that's, a really important distinction for you. I'm going to say Academy of Performing Arts because that's what you're listed under, and I don't know your first name. But for you, I think that's so important. Going back to the same thing is like you said, "Ooh, I see where the gap was. We didn't really lead up. We didn't promote it. We didn't do that part, right?" And that pre-trial, pre-orientation, pre-whatever, that time frame is really when we start to give them lots of little love taps about who we are and lots of little connection points about who we are before they ever step foot inside of our business, right? And I hope that you know that I'm pretty transparent. I love sharing with you guys. But that's partially here. What we're doing right now, y'all, this is your free trial. This is part of your free trial, part of your orientation, right? Is you're coming here, we're having a chat. You might see, oh my gosh, this lady is wackadoodle with her hand clappers and her banana phone and her maracas and all her crazy things, right? And you might be like, I love her vibe. She's my people, right? Or the opposite, I might not be. And you might be like, ooh, she's a lot to handle. I'm okay with it. It's who I am, right? But this right now is kind of like a free trial, right? And then if you go back, remember I said if you want more support and you want to do a complimentary studio success strategy call, drop the word success, which is still true, and we will do that. That is your free trial. It is me supporting you, showing you a little bit of what we do, how we can solve your problems, how we can implement a little bit of strategy, and then you get to decide, do you want more of that support? I'm practicing what I preach, y'all. Showing up and I'm doing the thing, right? That makes sense for you all? I hope so. Okay, so my friends, I know we're going a little bit here, but I want to make sure that we wrap it up in a pretty little tight bow. And I have to tell you, my friends, the amount of ahas that happened this weekend were absolutely amazing when I went down to Anaheim Hills for a retreat that I was part of. And I cannot wait to share some of those really amazing nuggets when we have our Dance Studio Owners Beach Business Retreat, which is happening next month. I am so stinking excited to get on a plane, go to Florida, and be able to spend the weekend. Oh my gosh, resting, relaxing. Oh, some luxury happening, y'all, and lots of learning that I will be sharing with the way. Success all the way. Yes. Okay. So there's one room left. Y'all, there's only one room left for the Dance Studio Owners Beach Business Retreat. It's happening the first weekend of November in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. And y'all, you want to jump on it. You want to jump on this last room because I've got all the things planned for us. I've got a private chef coming in. We're going to do yoga on the beach. We've got a bonfire that's going to be happening. We have some amazing workshops that we're going to be doing. There's going to be time for private one-on-one sessions with me, and there's going to be time to actually rest and relax and implement because y'all, there is nothing worse than going to a conference, convention, workshop, whatever, getting all these ideas and then leaving overwhelmed because you don't know what to implement first or where even to get started. That's not what this is about. This is about getting some stuff done while we are there. So if you're interested in joining us in Florida, there's, like I said, one room left. Y'all, get it, jump at it. If you have questions about it, shoot me a message or drop the word beach below here, and I will reach out to you and we can chat about it. I know it's just around the corner, but y'all, there's no time like the present. Let's get together for a weekend and really create some magic inside of your business. So let's go ahead and do a speedy little recap in case you just jumped on these last few minutes and or you want to come in on a replay. So, all right. So today we jumped in and we talked about why free trials and bring a buddy weeks really aren't working for you, right? And the truth of the matter is that we're taking tactics, which are the free trial, the bring a buddy week, those sort of things. And we are trying to make a tactic work with no strategy behind it or not a full, complete strategy, right? We're taking it, we're throwing uncooked spaghetti at the wall, right? And we're hoping that it sticks. Doesn't work. This is why it's so important for us to have a system and a strategy before, during, and after these two types of events if we want them to work, if we want them to actually lead to the outcome of enrolled students, which should be your goal for these sort of events. Your goal should be to actually get those students to enroll. And if you aren't seeing the conversion happen, it's because you do not have a full strategy in place. And there is a gap somewhere along the lines. And so if you need help with that, drop the word success below and we will reach out and we will make sure that you get the support that you need. I'm going to leave you all there, friends. I hope that you have a fantastic week. And next week, I will be here, same time, same place, but I will have a special guest on because we are diving into a topic, y'all. Money, 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 right? We are diving into a topic that is going to center around money. Y'all need to be here for this one. It is going to be a good one. So I'm going to leave you all there. I hope you have a fantastic week, my friends, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.